Okay, there we go. All right, you guys, happy Monday night. First Monday of December. You guys are crushing it with Cyber Monday. We have a very special guest speaker on, Diamond Senior Ruby, Jordan Roddenberry. You all know who she is. She's incredible. She is on the advisory board. She has swept the Leaders Retreat contest on both accounts. So she has not one $2,000 shopping spree, but two $2,000 shopping sprees, which is so cool. And I asked her if she would hop on and just kind of do like an interview style um, Zoom and share parts of her story, because I feel like there's just a lot of her story that you haven't heard or that you need to hear again, because it's really encouraging and inspiring. And she is the most normal person you'll ever meet. And the fact that she can be making the kind of money that she's making, and as a she is a stay-at-home mom, her husband's full-time ministry. She has two toddlers, and like, you know how toddler life is crazy. Um, her last baby, did he ever sleep? Like,
No. Uh-uh.
no, he never
Uh-uh.
slept. So, like, she's sleep deprived over there, but yet somehow she's crushing it. And
We make it
so,
work.
yeah. It's just she's super relatable, because it's like all of us. Like, we're in the trenches of life, mom life, ministry life, whatever. Like, I feel like all of us are gonna relate to parts of her story. Um, and so I can't wait for you to hear from her. And if you have questions that pop up as you're listening, like, write them down, and maybe at the end we'll have some time for a few extra questions. But this is Jordan. She's my power partner and one of my best friends, and I'm really honored that she is hopping on to share some of her wisdom with us tonight. So thank you, Jordan. The first thing I would love for everyone just to hear really quick, because we do have a lot of new people, is like, why did you even start Plexus in the first place?
Yeah. First off, y'all need to know something about your leader, Joanna. She's one of my favorite people in Plexus, and we have very different gifts. And I think that knowing what your gifts are and using them for the people around you is one of the best things you can do inside of Plexus. And she does that so well. She has blessed me for however many years, and now our husbands are best friends, which is like extra fun. And so anyway, y'all, you have a very special person in your corner. So if you're not using her, use her. I'm sure you are. But okay. Uh you why I started. You said why I started?
Yeah, like, why did you even start Plexus in the first place?
Okay.
Also, that was really sweet. So don't make me cry.
I love you. I also just dropped my pen and I definitely have marker on my shirt. It's fine. Um, okay, you guys, I had multiple people reaching out to me about Plexus. At one point, I mean, maybe like six or seven. Hey, you should do this business. Hey, you should do this. Like very salesy, very like, bleh, and I hated all of it and I wanted no part of this. But I kept seeing that stupid income graphic, and I was busting my butt at a corporate job. And I was like, if I took the amount of hours that I put in a corporate job over at this network marketing thing, I know we could make more money as a family, and I know I could get some of my time back. And so this was a trade-off for me. I was like, you know what? If I can learn how to do this in a way that's not salesy, I can learn how to actually make a real income for my family. Like, I think I can figure this out. And so I just chose to figure this out. I became a walking, talking YouTube video. I watched every single video I could get my hands on. When I started, we didn't have cool earbuds. We had like ones with a cord. So I always had a cord like hanging out in my bra or in my pocket. And while I was doing dishes, I was watching training videos. While I was in my car, I subbed my music for my training videos. I didn't even like touch TV for like the first 6 months because I was like, oh, we got time for this. I got to figure out how to work this business. Y'all, we go to college for 4 years to learn how to do a job, and we step into a job and we still feel like an idiot. You think we're gonna step into network marketing and like, poof, magic, you're like really good at this? No, like there has to be some work involved. And so I had to go put in some work. I had to go figure out what this is, how to do it, what are systems, what is recruiting, how do I duplicate? I had all the same questions you do, except for I just went and learned, tried, failed, learned again, figured it out, tried again, right? It's like there's no secret sauce to this. You just go you try and fail until you get it right. And then you try and fail at a different topic inside of Plexus until you get it right. It's like parenting. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm 9 years in. I still have no idea what I'm doing. Trial, error. see what works, make tweaks, right? So anyway, I started this because I needed some time freedom for my family. And we went emerald in a little over a year, maybe a year and a half. And then we went diamond about 3 years ago. I don't even know, 3 years ago maybe. And then the next year we went to re-entry. So if you are here, know that when people say there's an uncapped income, that actually means you can make as much money here as you want. There is a uncapped income. You can literally go to diamond and then enroll under yourself. I am my level 1 and I have my diamond account, my OG account, and my 2.0 account. And you get to work it again if you want to. So this has been a massive blessing for my family. My husband was a coach and a teacher for years, and now he's in full-time ministry. I keep going like this, like y'all know what's behind that door. My family is behind that door. And now he is in full-time ministry. So anyway, is that what you wanted, Joanna? I like these questions. This is fun.
Yes. I love that. And didn't you start the products before, like you tried the products and then
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
you try to go silver, but then you like were really bad at it. So you're like, forget that. I'm just going to take the
Yeah.
products.
Yeah, I tried. My friend actually, she could not get me to start with a whole thing. She said, "Hey, if I send you a bottle of ProBio 5, will you take it?" And I was like, "Yes, fine, whatever." Then I took it. I liked it. I felt good on it because I was severely constipated. Not that y'all needed to know that, not the topic for this call, but and so I felt a little better. So I said, "Give me what you got." Like I got really sick at one point. Give me the full triplex. And so yeah, I tried to go silver right there. She actually asked me on the phone, "Do you want to share?" And I was like, "Heck no." But I saw all my other friends sharing about plexus. And I was like, well, I'll just do what they're doing. So I was copying and pasting what they were doing. I got no bites. And after like a couple weeks of posting with nobody coming to me, I was like, so, well, I'm not doing this. Like, I will not have failed at network marketing on my resume. And so I just like stopped. I was like, I'm not doing this. And then a year later, I had my second baby, which you guys, timing is everything, everything. I had my second baby. And that was when I was like, okay, something's got to give. We gotta do something different. And then my husband's over here going, what about that Lexus thing? I'm like, oh, I don't know. And now we're
I
here.
love that because like she was watching like people making the posts this whole time. And then when she had to drop her baby off at daycare, that is when it was like, okay, like I've got to do something different. And so just keep on with the customer care, keep loving on your people and keep sharing about the opportunity and go be successful without them because then that's going to attract them, I feel like. Um so I love that, Jordan. Okay, so next question. Hang on, I lost my notes. Let me pull it up. Okay. So what would you say? So it's December, it's crazy, it's holidays, lots going on. School will be out again for like, Christmas break. What are your top tips, would you say, for having a successful December and a start to a new year? Because we know like it's so important, like ending the year is so important for how you start off the year. But what are your top tips for doing that while still juggling the mom life, the holiday, all that stuff?
Yeah. Um, can I speak very candidly with y'all? Are you okay with like me just like
Yes.
giving you exactly what's on my brain? I don't have to like sugarcoat this, y'all. Okay. Um, Here's what I know. I know that if you choose to be overwhelmed, you'll be overwhelmed. But if you choose to be responsible and choose to be disciplined and choose your focus, then you will also choose what you're thinking. And so I actually don't believe in being overwhelmed. I think overwhelm is a choice. And you can choose to not be overwhelmed. Maybe you need to just let go of your pride a little bit and ask for help. Maybe you need to get more organized. Maybe you need to have a bigger picture of where you're going so that you wake up more excited about your business and you make it a priority in your day. You guys, I started on the advisory board this summer, a little hesitant because I have 4 kids, little kids, and I was like, can I do this? Can I juggle it? But you guys, adding onto your plate when it's something that you're excited about and you love and you can figure it out. You just choose the words. I can figure this out, then you do. And so, I actually, I want to tell y'all something, because when I started on the board, have y'all ever, my husband works for a church. I used to work for my university. And sometimes when you start working for the thing that you're like, you used to love, it like changes your view of it a little bit, because you're like you're getting the inside scoop on like all the background scenes, right? It's like going to a play, but you're like seeing the chaos behind the curtain. I've been privy to the chaos behind the curtain, and I can tell you guys that I now love Plexus more than I did, which is not that most situations where this is the case, that's not what happens. Usually you're like, oh my gosh, I want out. But like I am now privy to more information, and the more information I see, the more behind the scenes I get, the more I love our company. And my belief is higher than it's ever been. I want to do more now. I want to set more goals. I want to work more. Even my husband tonight was like, hey, you gotta like, take a break. I don't want to take a break. I just don't. And so you guys, when your belief is that high and your thoughts are, I can do this, I can figure this out, I know exactly where I'm going, I want that 500, 600, $1,000, your feet just start matching. And so I can give you some tips and tricks on how to make December awesome or whatever, but it starts in your head. It starts with, what are you believing about your capabilities? What are you believing about the time that you have? And then it also obviously about being responsible with your time. But my first tip is just get your head in the right place. If it's not, go fight for that. Go do whatever you need to do, whether it's affirmations. Who's making you not have good thoughts? Okay, well, let's figure that out. Okay, maybe you need to get in a new circle with new people that are feeding you positivity, whatever that looks like. So there's that. Now, the next thing that I really love about a December is that sometimes you don't see the fruit until the last 3 days of December. And if you walk into this month knowing that, you know what, I may not see fruit until the last 3 days, but I'm not going to give up, then your thoughts are in the right place. So therefore, when you're doing these actions and you're getting crickets, or somebody's not ready, or they're talking about money, that's cool, because guess what? They're probably going to sign up at the end of the month. You just got to be patient. You've got to stick with them. Joanna talked at the very beginning of this call about follow-up. You've got to just put them on your list and follow up at the end of the month. So having your mind right is a big deal. Having the expectation that, hey, I might sign up 3 to 5 people this month before Christmas, but I also might not. But you guys, I'm going to take you back to 2018, 2017, I don't know, somewhere back in there. And I was a brand new senior gold, and I was like, yeah, we're going Ruby, it's December. And we had our lowest ad month, like, since I had started. And I was like, oh, I just quit my job. What am I doing? And I walked into January just being like, you know what? That is not going to be our story. This is not the end. Take the drama down a little bit, Jordan. Let's figure out how do we move the needle forward. And so that's when we started what's called a 100-person reach out. Joanna will probably tell you all about this later, but it's something that we started doing at the end of December and the beginning of January. And y'all, it's because so many people start signing up at the end of the month. And so I realized quickly that I needed to control the drama in my head and get my feet moving and help my team get their feet moving. And so we just started doing a ton of reach outs, tons of messaging the last week of December. So if you haven't already committed to doing something like that the last week of December, commit today. I am going, right hand, I am going to send tons of messages the last week of the month, because that's what you need to do. But I was talking with my team earlier, and my strategy is actually to front load the month. So I'm going to send a ton of messages now, and just expect to send a ton at the end of the month. Doesn't matter if you've signed 0 the first 3 weeks, you're going to be fine. You're not going to die. Just wait. Just be patient. Okay. Okay. Joanna, do you
Yes.
have anything else on
Okay.
that? I have some other notes, but you talk first.
Yeah, I think, and just don't get in your head about taking action, because so on Saturday, the last day of the month, I knew it was coming, like Cyber Monday, whatever. And so I was like, okay, I want to send 100 messages tomorrow, yesterday on Sunday, because Cyber Monday. And then Sunday came and I was like, oh, that's a lot of messages. I don't know if I want to do that. And then I sat down, not really. I mean, it was mom life, so I got interrupted a lot, but basically like tried to focus for 2 hours. And then I got 100 messages sent in 2 hours, yesterday afternoon while my baby was sleeping. And like that, is what is yielding fruit now. I've signed up 2 people so far, and I have other carts sent out. And I almost talked myself out of it because it just seemed like a lot. And then I was like, oh, I'll just catch up later. But just doing it and then getting into action doesn't have to be perfect. And I think it's very smart to front load your month. And then for sure the challenge, which I will talk about in a little bit. Okay, so Jordan, tell us, and yeah, any notes you have, like feel free, like share all the things. But I would love for everyone to hear when you were working towards Emerald. So it was 2017 that you were senior gold, by the way.
Okay, yeah,
And
that.
then you went Emerald that next fall. But when you were working towards Emerald, what would you say 80% of your time looked like when you were working your business?
Yeah. Let me, anybody here ever had a leader quit? Maybe you've had a silver quit or a senior silver quit or a gold quit. Okay, listen, you are not alone. Okay, don't create drama in your head that says, I am the worst leader ever. No one wants to work with me. My life stinks and I'm never going to get to diamond because somebody on my team quit. Okay, well, first off, a lot of my time going to Emerald was rebuilding because I had three, I can't even remember now, but I want to say I had three gold legs when we went senior ruby. And I was like, again, woo, we got the team. We're going. And then the next month, all three of them quit at the same time. And I was like, okay. So just know you're not alone. You're not the first person somebody has quit on, and you are not the last, and you're gonna be fine. So a lot of my time was spent rebuilding, and that was creating new level ones and creating new silvers. I know that sounds so basic, but you guys, this business is simple. What are you spending your time on? Are you spending your time doing things that are actually yielding fruit, or are you spending time on things that look busy but are not? So a lot of my time was spent helping people go silver and recruiting new level ones. I heard a long time ago that the average diamond had between 40 and 50 actively ordering level ones. And that was super encouraging to me because I was like, okay, cool. All I got to do is get to the 40 to 50 mark and help 20% of every single person every single month. All of my level ones, if I help 20% of them go silver, I'll get to diamond eventually. Like that was literally what like unlocked this like freedom in my head. So now that is still my goal. 20% of the level ones that I sign, I want to help go silver. And and that's so if you sign 10, that means you're helping to go silver. And I was doing all the actions that help that happen, right? I was helping people invite to launch events. I was helping people make first posts. I was helping people that were making first posts with their next things to say, right? And so all the actions that come along with that. And then I was still recruiting. And I still to this day, I would say I post. I would say I post every day. Definitely in my stories every day, but I think I probably post on my wall every day because that's a consistency piece for me. That's something that I committed to that keeps my open sign open on my business. And so I'm a huge proponent of if you are not showing up on social media, it is time to turn that light on. And so a couple of other things that I did though that I felt were really, really important were I was setting goals often even if your points are not where you want them, or if they have gone backwards. The trap is I'm going to stop setting goals. I'm going to stop looking forward until I like fix this over here. Because when you stop looking forward, then you're just stuck in this rut. It's like you're in a truck that's like stuck in the mud and the wheels are spinning and you can't get out. You got to start looking forward. You got to start looking to what's coming so that you can get out of that rut. And so I was setting goals often, whether it was duplication goals for me. I always set a silver development goal for myself and level one ads. And so anyway, that I don't know if that's what you want, Joanna, but to me, this I look back and that is what I was doing. And I was posting a ton about the business because I was ready to bring on people who wanted to make an income. I love our products. They have done amazing things for my body, for my health, for my family. But you guys, the freedom that this business has given us, I will talk about this business to a complete stranger because I love it. I always say, like, if you come into my circle, I'm going to ask you if you need my products. I'm probably going to ask you if you need a second income because I love this, because I have a ton of new friends now. And I know you're sitting over there complaining in your house. You don't have friends and you don't know where to meet people and you feel alone. I already know this is going to solve lots of your problems. And then I'm probably going to invite you to a Bible study. So if you come into my circle, that's what you're going to get. You guys, don't be afraid to talk about this business. This business is a gift. This business, people go to bed at night worried about two things, their health and their finances. And you have a gift that can help them with both. And you are keeping quiet about this one because you're nervous to talk about money because our parents told us that talking about politics and money was wrong. We're not going to talk about politics. We are going to talk about money. So you need to turn that on. You need to start posting about the business, asking your customers. Today, I had a call with a customer to help her move her subscription. And I said, hey, did you know that you get free resets with welcome packs? Have you ever thought about signing up your husband or your mom because you could have their reset box? She was like, actually, my husband really needs these products. I said, cool. Why don't we just make him an account? And she said, cool. And I literally made him an account on my phone while she gave me her credit card information. And whoop, she has a level 1 now. Do not be afraid to talk about money and make those business asks. So that's what I was doing a lot of.
I love that. And it's just, I love how you simplified it of like you're recruiting and you're helping people go silver. So when you're thinking, okay, what actions do I need to take? Well, what's going to help you recruit and what's going to help you help people go silver, and then go do those things.
Yes.
So good. And that was amazing, turning that call around from turning off her sub to signing someone.
I was like,
um,
oh, okay, I'm doing this more often. Maybe I should get on the phone more.
Also, I thought it was a genius idea. So Jordan did this the other day. She did a stories event on Zoom, and she invited one of her customers to share her story because she had a great story. And so because her customer, who wasn't even doing the business, got on, shared her story, she invited some people to come listen. And then didn't she like go silver, or she's going
Yep.
silver?
Yep, she went over.
That's
It was
smart.
it was a customer of mine. Y'all, I think sometimes we get in the rut of like, oh, my story is not big enough. Oh, I can't ask so and so to share because she's not doing the business yet, or maybe I'm nervous. I'm scared she's not going to do it well, or whatever. Because we're constantly making decisions out of fear, then that's just going to keep us in a place of feeling fear. So the other day I was like, you know what? My friend has a great testimony. I was like, I don't know, I got bold. I don't know what you would say, but I just asked her, hey, do you want to share on our testimonies event? She's a customer, you guys. She doesn't do the business. And she said, yeah, sure. I would love to share my story. And because she shared her story, she then posted it on her wall. And because she shared her story, I helped her invite her mom and her sister and my neighbor, actually, to the call. And she signed up. All three went silver. Like, we are overcomplicating this. Help people share.
Genius.
Go sign level 1s, help
Genius.
people share.
Love that. So good. Okay, so I would love for you to talk to us a little bit about your mindset. So 2018, you went Ruby and Senior Ruby back to back. It was like what, like March and April, I think you like ranked up. Um, and then in June, like you had those golds quitting and your points fell way back below even Ruby. So you went from Senior Ruby, like this huge momentum, things are fun, exciting. You like swept the contest. We had our big checks. That was so fun. But
I
then
miss
you fell
those
way
big
back.
checks.
I know, me too.
We still get big
Um,
checks, but these were like actual like
like physical.
convention checks. They did not take our paychecks away.
Um, but then you fell like, I mean, what, like 400
I went
points
to
back
senior gold
or
points.
something.
Yeah. I
Senior
went from
gold point.
senior ruby to senior gold points.
So depressing. But I know
So
it was really,
depressing.
really hard. And because with like a power partnership, like I wasn't going as quick, but I wasn't falling way back. So I was getting closer to senior ruby at that point. Emily was getting really close to emerald, and you're like falling back to senior gold. So talk to us about the mindset shift that you went through, because then you turned it around way fast and you went emerald that fall. So what did you have to change in your mindset to help you get out of that funk?
Yeah, I'm sure I threw a pity party at some point. There was probably some tears.
Wait, you're muted. Did someone call you? That happens to me all the time. Someone calls me and then it mutes me. No, you're still muted. Oh, there we go. It's connecting to audio. Give it a second. Okay, now can you talk? And let's see. Maybe if you go out, Jordan, and come back in.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. Okay.
That was so weird. I just got this thing that says, we've disabled your microphone. It's like, oh, perfect.
No,
I
we're
don't
right on the edge
remember
of
what
our
I was.
seats for this answer.
Well, that's good because I'm sure I had a smart answer and
So
now
it was like the mindset shift that you had to go through when you
oh,
fell way back that helped
okay.
you and then helped you get back into momentum to go emerald like that
Yes.
fall.
So I call those moments in our business shifts because you're gonna have many. There was a shift from when I went or silver to gold, and I had to learn that I had to actually take care of the people that I was signing up, right? Like we have these shifts all along our journey that force you to grow in a new area. And the area that I had to go learn was leadership. I did not know how to lead people. I knew how to energize people. I knew how to sign people. I knew how to help people go silver, but I did not understand how to lead people. And I had to learn other people's personalities, how they're motivated, how they're demotivated. I assumed everybody was goal oriented and loved a good scoreboard for a contest like I did. But that wasn't the case. I learned that there were 4 different personality types, and some of them are they respond differently to the way you say things. And I was like talking to everybody like, let's go. And then I was like legitimately scaring people, I think. And so I had to learn how to lead people. I had to choose to learn that. I remember it was like the lowest of low moments. And maybe you've had this type of thing happen, but our points were like super low. My sister had just come in to Tennessee, and I was driving her back because we did the like, $100 flights, which means you have to get there at like 5 a.m. And so I was driving 2 hours at like 3 a.m. to get her to an airport because that's how close our airport was to us. And we got a flat tire. And so I had to call the police. They had to come. I had to wait for them. She missed her flight. I had to drive all the way back home with a donut tire. I'm telling you all this because it was like one of those moments where I just wanted to like throw up my hands and just quit everything. Like I didn't even know what to do. It felt in my head everything was going wrong. And so on the way home, I just remember I plugged in some YouTube videos for Plexus. They were on mindset, they were on overcoming, they were on systems, they were on leadership, learning how to lead, all of these things. And I had probably close to 3 hours on the way home because I was driving home with a little donut tire, which you have to go like 5 miles an hour. I feel like, anyway, I chose that in that moment to not be a victim to my situation and to go learn what I needed to go learn. And I prayed, like, Lord, what do I need to learn? Like, help me figure this out. And so I chose growth over being a victim. And so from that moment on, it was a mental shift. And I don't even remember what I did. I just remember how I was doing it was with better energy, with more excitement, because I now had a vision again. I didn't feel desperate. I didn't feel like I was the worst, right? Like I didn't feel sucky or whatever the word is. I just chose to feel differently. And so then I just started getting really bold about sharing about the business again, going back to the basics. And I chose to learn some new things. And so there's gonna be moments in your business where you're like, oh my gosh, I feel like we're signing tons of people, but we're not keeping them. Okay, cool. Well, maybe this is your opportunity to go learn retention, customer care. And ask yourself some questions. Do I have a system for my level ones to keep them? Am I passing that system on down to my level 2s and 3s? And if so, where are they finding the information? Do I have to send it to them, or is there a spot? Do they know where the spot is? Right. So the more you can just dive into some of these questions, it takes you out of the space of like, I don't know what to do. And it puts you in a space of like, I'm going to figure it out. And that's where I was. So I just chose to figure it out. And in that season, in that rebuilding season, and that's my first rebuild season. I found as of yesterday, my very first sapphire. Okay. She went sapphire yesterday. Um, and I found her. She went silver during that rebuild season. I also found one of my emerald legs, Taylor, and she is still with us as well. And then another emerald leg. I found all of them within the next 4 months of in that season, and they all started their business together. And so, you guys, you're gonna rebuild. I had two jewel legs quit last year, which was really difficult. And I know you're still thinking, why would you leave in your jewel? I don't know, because this thing is amazing. But I had two level one jewels quit last year. I can choose to say, woe is me. I'm a terrible leader. I'm not good at this. This doesn't work. Or I could choose to say, I have an uncapped income. Our team culture is amazing. I cannot dictate their decisions. I can only be here for the people who want to be here. And I'm excited to bring new people in. Like you get to choose how you feel and what you think about these situations. You're going to rebuild. People are going to quit. Your points are going to go back at some point. It's fine. You're fine. And then you move on.
So good. Yeah, I don't know who would want to quit as a jewel either. Crazy people.
I don't know. I don't know.
Okay. Wow. So good. The last question I have for you is because I feel like this is something we all need to hear, and especially a lot of us in like the thick of like mom life. What does your daily schedule? You commented on a post in the Joel page the other day, and I loved your comment. And you talked about how you don't even do like a weekly thing, like you have like a daily thing going on. But share with us kind of how your daily schedule looks like, of how you fit in your business with also being like a mom of four, your husband's full time in ministry working. Like, how do you do it?
Yeah.
Family
I can,
time, like how does it all fit?
yeah. I'm gonna tell you something. And I love you. I love all of you. You have the time for your business. My one of my girls hit 2,000 points for the very first time. She has two little girls. She works full time, 9 to 4, and she hit 2,000 points yesterday. You cannot tell me that you don't have time for your business. So this is what and I love you enough to tell you that, because if you're telling yourself that, then this is the time to say, actually, I do have time. I do have time for my business. Because what happens when you say, I do have time, I want to do this today, all of a sudden possibilities start unlocking. I do have 15-minute pocket of time right now. I'm gonna go do this. Oh, I do have 15 minutes for bed. I'm gonna go do this, right? Your brain starts looking for opportunity instead of looking for excuses. And so, well, how do I do it? First off, I hired an assistant when I went Emerald. And so I'm going to tell you about how I do it now, and then I'm going to tell you how I did it then, because it is a little bit different. And honestly, I hope this paints a picture of freedom for you for when you go Emerald, Sapphire, Diamond. Because to be very frank with y'all, my schedule is busier than it has ever been. I am room mom for one of my kids. I'm on the advisory board, which is a 2 to 4 hour Zoom every single week. And then we are working on all the things, right? I have a diamond account and a almost emerald account, and my husband works full time, and I have four littles, and I have Monday and Wednesday from 8:30 to 1 that my kids are in a Mother's Day out program, and that's it. And I work out 6 days a week, 1 hour to 1.5 hours a day. So you cannot tell me that you do not have time for this, because you do. So how do I do it? I really like to think of my week in a full week, because if I think of it on a daily, like there's poopy diapers, there's you got to come get your kid from school. There's like we can get pulled in a million directions in one day. So I like to think of my week in a chunk. And like, I really want to sign one person a week. Okay, cool. Well, I know that if I'm going to sign one person a week, then I really need to be sending this many messages a week. And I really need to be posting this many times. And so if you can, for me, thinking of it in a week, a chunk is better, because I know, okay, Zach's got a youth group event Thursday night, and I can work from 8 to 11 uninterrupted, right, at PM. And so I like to think of my week in chunks like that, because I can plan better. I love that Christina Williams has a daily planner, and she can check that off, and she gets her IPA in. And Amber Miller, she actually has a alarm system. She literally has an alarm for every 30 minutes of the day that she turns on, and it says, oh, time to read. Oh, time to start homeschool. Whoop, 30 minutes of IPA, which is great. And that works for her. That would not work for me because I love spontaneity and chaos, and it's fine. And so, but you can only love spontaneity and chaos if you're getting your work done. If you are living in chaos and you're still not getting your work done, then it's time to buckle up a little bit. And so hiring an assistant at Emerald was really big for me. She does all the post office stuff because I don't know about y'all, I hate going to the post office. It is the bane of my existence. And so she does all my post office stuff. She sends all my customer care messages. The only thing that I get to do now are the things that I love, which is training, creating content, recruiting. Like I get to do all the fun, sparkly stuff, and she does the behind the scenes stuff, which frees up a ton of my time. So put that on your dream board. Okay. Like pick the your favorite things inside of your business and the 5 things that you're going to delegate to an assistant one day. Great.
Can
What were
you,
you going to say,
Jordan,
Joanna?
can you share what it looks like for family hours? Because I like how you said that and about your
Yeah.
kids seeing you on your phone.
Which is actually probably the reason you asked that question originally. So I probably should have started there. But
No,
I
that was good.
I don't really do business hours either because again, things can get wild, crazy, bedtime. Like I don't even know. Sometimes our bedtime lasts 10 minutes, sometimes it lasts 2 hours. Like I don't even know. And so I set family hours from 3 to 7:30 every single day. I do not answer my phone. I am, well, except for tonight because I'm on your call at 7, but most nights 3 to 7:30 that is family time. I am not leading calls. I am not prepping content. I am not sending DMs, right? Like anyway. So that works for me. The other hours are free game. And the key here is that your husband needs to know that those are your family hours. And also, if you're trying to hide your business from your family, I want to encourage you to do the opposite because my family knows that I do Plexus. My kids all the time, Mom, I'm so glad you're working because I'm so glad you pick me up from school because now you get to choose your schedule. And I love that you get to do that, right? Like they know what Plexus provides for us. They know how important this is for our families. I don't hide this from them. Um, and so sometimes I'll even be sitting right here doing my work, and then like Kennedy will be right here with me, and then my other kid is right here working on my whiteboard. If you're expecting these like beautiful work hours when you have little babies, I'm sorry, it's not going to happen. I read a book from a guy, I can't remember what it was called, but he was like, make sure you have this day for this day for this day for this. I'm like, dude, that sounds great. You don't have 409. Like I already know, and you have a beautiful office that's probably in some corporate building. So don't tell me what to do. But you guys, you just got to figure out what works best for you. Family hours have worked best for us. And then also, Zach just knows Friday nights are his. And then Sunday nights, typically, Sunday and Thursday nights, he knows are free game for work things, events that might be going live. Tuesday nights are our team calls. Even he knows that. And so we're just respectful of each other's schedules. Does he give me crap sometimes? He's like, are you on your phone tonight? I'm like, yeah, I am. But I promise in 1 hour I'll be off, right? So there's just got to be some communication. What makes your husband frustrated is when you're on your phone all the time and he doesn't know what you're doing or when it's going to end. He just knows that your phone is more important than him that during right that second, which is not the case, right? So you just have to communicate with your husband. So anyway, family hours have worked really, really well for us.
So good. I love it. And it's just like simple, like set your family hours and then just figure out the rest. Okay, well, we took up a lot of your time. I did not mean to, but it was just so good. And I really, really appreciate you answering all of those. If you all have any questions, send them in our chat and I'll ask Jordan later on if you have like a pressing question, because I'm not going to open it up for questions just because we're kind of out of time. But thank you, Jordan, so much for hopping on. You're amazing. And I can't wait to see you in February. Shopping spree cruise people. Come on, you got this. So many of you are so close.
Oh, guys, can I just say one thing about the cruise?
Yes.
Hey, it's so fun. Hey, well, Andy has been. It is really fun. I want y'all. You are. She thinks she is, but she's not. But what I'm just gonna tell y'all is, if you at right now, if you, I don't care where your cruise credits are, you need to go hard. Okay. Like, go at this like your life depends on it. Go earn that trip, because what this does for your confidence, because you earned a trip, whether you're going or not, is huge. Also, what this does for your audience, seeing you on a company trip, y'all, that is how you post about the business and get people interested. So go get your booty on that trip. Thank y'all so much for having me. I'm going to go put my children to bed now.
Thank you, Jordan, and thanks you all. I will get this recording up in a little bit. Have a great night. See ya.